Alright, America, buckle up. We're about to talk about something truly terrifying. The potential collapse of Social Security. Yes, that's Social Security, the one your grandma relies on, the one you thought you could count on when you hit retirement age. Turns out it might not be so secure after all. The Trump administration, in its infinite wisdom, has decided to give Social Security a makeover, and by makeover I mean they're gutting it from the inside out. We're talking massive staff cuts, service delays that would make a snail impatient, and enough operational chaos to make your head spin. So grab a stiff drink, America, because things are about to get bumpy. Let's start with the numbers, shall we? The Social Security Administration is slashing its workforce by a whopping 7,000 employees. That's 12% of their already skeletal staff, folks. What does this mean for you? Imagine calling the SSA for help and waiting on hold longer than it takes to watch The Irishman. That's your future, thanks to these cuts. But wait, there's more. Disability claims? Delayed? Retirement benefits? Good luck getting those on time. Offices are shutting down, programs are disappearing faster than common sense in this administration, and the entire system is teetering on the brink of collapse. This isn't a makeover, it's a massacre. Now you might be wondering, who's the mastermind behind this masterpiece of bureaucratic destruction? Who could possibly have the audacity and the sheer nerve to take on such a monumental task? Enter Elon Musk, stage right, riding a rocket-powered Tesla and fueled by an ego the size of Mars. Yes, the same Elon Musk who brought us electric cars, space travel ambitions, and a Twitter feed that never ceases to amaze. Musk, through his Department of Government Efficiency, because irony is dead, has been whispering sweet nothings into Trump's ear about how Social Security is a Ponzi scheme. This department, which sounds like it was named in a dystopian novel, is his latest venture into the world of public policy. Never mind that actual economists have debunked this claim more times than Trump has tweeted fake news. These experts, with years of study and data, have repeatedly shown that Social Security is not only solvent, but essential for millions of Americans. Musk, with all the subtlety of a bull in a china shop, has been pushing for these cuts, seemingly hell-bent on dismantling one of America's most vital safety nets. His approach is as subtle as a sledgehammer, and the consequences could be devastating. So thanks for the Tesla, Elon, but maybe stick to electric cars and leave social programs to people who actually give a damn about the less fortunate. After all, it's one thing to revolutionize transportation and space travel, but it's another to play fast and loose with the livelihoods of millions. The Trump administration, never one to miss an opportunity to throw vulnerable people under the bus, claims these cuts are about efficiency. They say they're not cutting benefits, just streamlining the system. Right. And I'm the Queen of England. This isn't about efficiency, it's about cruelty. It's about dismantling a program that millions of Americans rely on so they can give more tax breaks to billionaires like, you guessed it, Elon Musk. It's a tale as old as time robbed the poor to pay the rich. And they have the audacity to call it government efficiency. Shameful. Just shameful. Unsurprisingly, Democrats are outraged. They're calling out these cuts for what they are, a direct attack on working Americans. Senator Schumer is spitting fire, Senator Slotkin is sounding the alarm, and the rest of the Democratic Party is scrambling to stop this runaway train before it crashes the entire system. And the Republicans? Well, they're doing what they do best, pretending there's no problem. They're publicly denying any benefit cuts while simultaneously implementing policies that will inevitably lead to benefit cuts. It's a masterclass in hypocrisy, even for them. Some Republicans are reportedly uncomfortable with the changes. Well, good. Maybe they should try doing something about it then, instead of just standing by and watching Rome burn. Section 6. Experts sound the alarm. Is this the end of Social Security? Here's the really scary part. Experts are warning that these cuts could lead to the complete collapse of Social Security. The system, which millions of Americans rely on for their retirement and disability benefits, is teetering on the edge of insolvency. The financial documents paint a grim picture, showing a downward trend that could spell disaster for the future of Social Security. Martin O'Malley, former SSA commissioner, is predicting system-wide failure within months. He has been vocal about the urgent need for reform and has been warning policymakers about the impending crisis. His experience and deep understanding of the SSA's inner workings lend significant weight to his predictions. He says benefits could be interrupted, claims could go unprocessed, and the backlog could grow exponentially. This would leave countless Americans in a state of uncertainty and financial distress, unable to access the benefits they have been promised and have paid into for years. And the entire system could grind to a halt. The sight of empty desks and disarray in government offices is a stark reminder of the potential chaos that could ensue. The infrastructure that supports Social Security is crumbling, and without immediate action, the consequences could be dire. And let's be clear, this isn't some partisan hack. This is a man who knows the SSA inside and out, having served at the highest levels of the organization. His warnings are based on years of experience and a thorough understanding of the system's vulnerabilities. And he's sounding the alarm. Other experts in the field share his concerns, echoing his calls for urgent action. The consensus among these professionals is that without significant intervention, the future of Social Security is in jeopardy. So, while the Trump administration is busy patting themselves on the back for their efficiency, celebrating their perceived successes, the reality on the ground tells a different story. The administration's focus on short-term gains could be undermining the long-term stability of Social Security. The experts are bracing for impact. Financial experts and economists are preparing for a crisis that could have far-reaching implications for the entire country. They are analyzing data, discussing potential outcomes, and trying to develop strategies to mitigate the damage. Get ready, America, because the crash landing is going to be brutal. The American public needs to be aware of the looming threat and prepare for the possibility of a significant financial upheaval. The time to act is now, before it's too late. Section 7, Privatization Whispers and the Ghost of Fraud Allegations. If you thought it couldn't get worse, oh, it can. Whispers of privatization are floating around Washington like bad cologne. The plan? Hand over parts of the SSA to private companies who, let's be honest, care more about profits than people. And then there's the whole fraud charade. Trump and Musk love to cry fraud whenever anyone mentions Social Security, as if it's some den of thieves bleeding the country dry. Except there's no evidence of widespread fraud. It's just another distraction tactic, a way to justify their crusade against a program that helps millions of Americans. Don't be fooled, America. This isn't about fraud, it's about greed. Section 8. A system in chaos, inside the imploding SSA. Meanwhile, back at SSA headquarters, it's absolute chaos. Staff morale is lower than a snake's belly. Experienced workers are fleeing the agency faster than rats from a sinking ship. Spending freezes, canceled contracts, and the elimination of the Civil Rights Office have created a perfect storm of bureaucratic dysfunction. Offices are overflowing, the technology is outdated, and the few remaining employees are overworked and demoralized. It's a recipe for disaster, and the disaster is already here. Section 9, the human cost of efficiency. Who pays the price? So who pays the price for this so-called efficiency? It's a question that demands our attention, especially in times when the gap between the rich and the poor continues to widen. It's not the Trumps or the Musks of the world, they'll be just fine. Their wealth insulates them from the harsh realities that many face daily. No, the price will be paid by the most vulnerable among us, the elderly, the disabled, those who have spent their lives contributing to society only to find themselves abandoned when they need help the most. The working families who rely on Social Security to make ends meet, who juggle multiple jobs and still struggle to put food on the table, will bear the brunt of these cuts. They'll be the ones waiting months for their benefits, caught in a bureaucratic nightmare that seems designed to wear them down. The ones struggling to navigate a broken system, a system that seems to have forgotten its purpose of serving the people. The ones left behind by an administration that claims to be making America great again, but whose actions speak otherwise. This isn't just bad policy, it's morally bankrupt. It's a betrayal of the trust that the American people have placed in their leaders. It's a betrayal of the American people. A stark reminder that the values we hold dear are being compromised, and history will not judge them kindly. Future generations will look back and wonder how we allowed this to happen. So, the next time you hear someone talk about government efficiency, remember the human cost. Remember that behind every statistic is a real person, with real struggles and real pain. Remember the faces of the people who will suffer because of these cruel and unnecessary cuts. Their stories deserve to be heard, their lives deserve to be valued. And remember to vote like your future depends on it, because it does. Your vote is your voice, and it's time to speak up for those who can't.